My name is Ifrah Mansour, and I'm a multimedia performance artist. I am the artist in resident for the Dakota County Regional Parks. This is the story of weaving abundance. This project began with a slow walking meditation where I learned the vastness of the Dakota County, how the Dakota history continues to live here, a natural stewardship of the land, whether it be a prescribed burning, the rewilding of the prairie, and the welcoming back of the bisons who were once exiled from their homelands. To me, this is a story of abundance, of indigenous care, of ecological wisdom, and a reminder that healing our relationship with the land and its people is still possible. I wanted to create a project where art making felt slow, shared, and meditative. A space where discarded materials could become meaningful through community weaving. A space where abundance is defined not by excess, but by enough-ness, belonging, and wholeness. Throughout the summer, we held free weaving workshops at my studio, at Thompson Park, at Lebanon Hills, and other community events across Dakota counties. Here, children, elders, newcomers, refugees, all weaving together, sharing time, fabric, spices, and stories from home. The materials you see here all came from our daily lives. Instead of buying new, we practiced turning waste into wisdom. We created an open-air gallery with 7 sculptures, all nestled in the landscape, held by trees, surrounded by prairies, and shaped by the wind. Because the heart of this project comes from nature, the sculptures were exhibited inside nature. The abundance eggs are a traveling pair of eggs, marking the beginning of abundance journey, inviting us to imagine the possibilities of abundance through community care. Eggs ask, what abundance awaits within you? So do our ancestors, which translates, welcome home, ancestors, a quiet offering to the bisons, honoring their homecoming. It asks us, what does it mean to welcome someone home? The prayer beads are 3 rolling sculptures nestled within trees, celebrating the power of faith in nature. It honors Minnesota's growing Muslim community and the daily act of spiritual care. It asks us, what helps you return to harmony with the land, the wandering abundance? An interactive A-shaped wall created by many hands, inviting all visitors to tie a leaf-shaped paper to 9 questions that are all about ancestors, memory, and place, and the celebration of abundance within. Rivers in the Sky is a skyborne circle honoring the sacred convergence of the Mississippi, Minnesota, and the St. Croix rivers, revered as carriers of story and wisdom. It asks us, what wisdoms arrive when you slow down, look up, and let the rivers speak through you? Forest of Becoming is an otherworldly forest made from humble, earthbound offerings. It invites us to imagine abundance as a transformation rather than comfort. It asks us, what must we unlearn in order to grow something new and whole?
What I envisioned for this piece to be the most interactive, we wanted people to contemplate on these various questions or prompts about that all touch on different ways of exploring abundance, given that abundance is not something that anyone is thinking about it nowadays, especially when we're made to feel that there is scarcity in everything, in land, in resources, in kindness. So I really hope that people go nearby and sort of like answer these questions for themselves and for their communities. This is the piece that received the most love and support from magical people that just showed up to the open weaving times that I hosted. That's what I would do. This would be the natural thing for me to do. These are called the prayer beads. There's 3 of them. And the idea is that it's a piece that you literally have to go look for them. It is inspired by my childhood experience of being raised by my grandmother. And my grandmother was a farmer, and she would take her prayer beads out into her humongous land, and she would forget. And my siblings and cousins were all tasked to go find her prayer beads. And I wanted to bring that childhood memory back, but I also wanted to celebrate that virtuality is something that helps all of us to become a better stewardess on land
Weaving abundance is more than sculptures. It's a way of being. It's a way of imagining our world where creativity, care, and belonging is for everyone. Part of this project comes from nature. The sculptures were exhibited inside nature. The land became the gallery.
The Hila Uncle is making an appearance at the Weaving Abundance because it's one of the first things, one of the large-scale works that I've created that celebrates particularly Somali weaving. This piece is called Welcome Home, Ancestors. It is a gift that I created to also welcome the bisons that have been returned to Dakota land, that has been returned to Spring Lake Park here. Bisons live on this land. Eons ago, they were persecuted and endangered. And what's really beautiful is like right now the Dakota County and others are intentionally reviving and bringing these living ancestors back to their original home. And for me, as a Somali who's also a new immigrant here, I'm new to this land, and learning its history and its the ways in which we are rectifying those histories, creating a ways of healing. I wanted to make a gift for the bisons, and what better way to do that than a very important Somali fabric. This is the Alindi. Once upon a time, this fabric was handmade, hand-woven by Somalis in the past, and it's a fabric that is used for celebratory occasions, and I've used it to weave and to create this piece. So when it is very bright, those little woven sort of like let out the light. So it's a piece that really plays with the light as well as with the wind. So tomorrow or even this evening, this piece will look a little different. It's intentionally sort of like dancing with the wind.